How do you start saving money and increasing your income when you literally have a minimum wage job? Now, personally, guys, from personal experience, I can tell you this. I started saving money when I was making literally $60 every single week. Now, there's a likely chance that you probably make more money than I did back then, but on top of that, I was also making a negative income, meaning I was spending more money than I actually made on a weekly basis. Now, I want to clarify something. I managed to create a budget that took me from making $60 a week and having a negative income to making around almost $10,000 a month net and literally spending less than 5% of my income on expenses. So if you want to find out exactly how I managed to do this, make sure you stick around to this video so you can actually find out. By the way, it's very easy to follow. I'm not that smart. Anyone out there can probably do this, like 100% guarantee. And my main thing is this, guys. It's not about how much money you make, it's about how much money you keep. And if you don't know how to keep your money by creating a budget, then you probably won't get to where you want to get to. Now, this budget allows you to spend money, save money, have fun, so you're still going to be able to buy that car you want or buy Starbucks on a daily basis, whatever you want to do, okay? It's going to allow you to do what you want, all while saving money and investing money. So if you want to find out exactly how to do all this stuff, make sure you stick around to the video. Now, on top of that, guys, if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant, and I upload videos on YouTube every single day. Yes, I said daily content, so make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video, which is literally every single day. And on top of that, if you're excited to learn how to take control of your life, hit the like button. Do me that favor. It really helps the channel out a ton. And I want to ask you one question. How much money do you want to have saved up by the end of the year? Yes, I know it's 2019 and the year's about to finish in like 6 months, but I still want to ask you, how much money do you want to have saved up by the end of the year? And comment down below also, why do you want to save that money? It's very important to have a powerful why, because if you don't have a powerful why, then the likely chance of you actually accomplishing your goal is very slim. That's why so many people save money, but then all of a sudden they just spend all the money at once. So comment down below and let me know. So now that you commented, the first thing I want to clarify is, Tommy, why do you budget your money? The answer is this. I budget my money. Well, initially, when I started budgeting, I thought that, hey, having a budget means I have no control. I have constraints. I really can't do what I want to do. But the answer is this. Really, I didn't have any control when I didn't have a budget because I couldn't do what I wanted to do because I never had money left over. And I never saved money, never invested money, or never did anything I really had to do with my money. And having a budget gave me control over my life. Now, you're probably asking at this point, Tommy, how does this budget work and how is it so differently from all the other budgets that I see out there? And the answer is this. My budget is called a simple budget for a reason, but it works like this, right? It separates your life in 6 categories, and those 6 categories, you actually put your income inside of those 6 categories. So for example, I have 6 accounts, and one of them is called emergencies, investments, debts, expenses, fund money, and also, guess what? Charity. Now, if you follow this budget exactly how I'm telling you, you'll be able to have money for all these 6 categories and still have money to have fun and do whatever you want to do whenever you want to do it. And you're probably asking me, Tommy, how did you get this idea? And the answer is this. It's really not really my idea by myself. I just did a lot of research, I did a lot of reading, and then I found out this method and I said like, okay, I like this, I like that, I like this, but I want to put it all together and be able to spend money on whatever I want, whenever I want, and I want freedom to do whatever I want. So I created this budget that allows me to do every single thing that I want to do on a weekly basis and still be able to save money and increase my income from $60 a week to almost $10,000 a month, which is pretty good if you ask me. Now, I want you guys to comment down below. Would this be the first time you actually have a budget, or have you tried a budget in the past that didn't really work for you? Comment down below and let me know. So now that you commented, I want to jump straight into the video and tell you exactly how this budget actually works. And all you need is literally 3 things to get started. Number 1, you don't understand how much money you make versus how much money you spend. So write down all your expenses on one side and all your income on another side. For most of you guys, you just have like one way of making money, which is fine, and you'll have a lot of bills. Once you have this stuff on paper, it will help to organize everything in your head. The second thing you need is this, guys, right? You need to understand how to do a little math, and it's called percentages. So for example, if you're gonna have $100 that you make every single week, then you need to understand how to get 10% of that money and put it away. So for example, if you don't know how to do math at all, just go on Google and type in percentage calculator, and then that way you can do it from online easy, right? But if you have a calculator, just put in 100, you put in times 0.10% or times 10%, and it'll give you the answer just like that. The third thing you need is this, guys. the third thing you need is this, guys. You need around 6 envelopes to actually start saving your money into it. Now, why do I prefer envelopes rather than bank accounts? Because for the first months, you have to build the habits and you have to have a tangible place to actually put all your money, because again, you might have all your money in a bank and you might be doing everything like on the phone, but in reality, with all these automatic expenses, by the end of the day, you might not have any money left because, oh my gosh, I just took some money here. Oh my gosh, I just spent more money with my debit card, my credit card. I didn't notice, you know? Well, having everything in the tangible place is much, much better. Now that you have all those things set up, I want to tell you exactly how this budget actually works. Now, this budget is broken down into 6 different accounts. Now, the reason it's broken down in 6 accounts is because your financial life is really only made out of 6 accounts. Now, here's the exact order your money should be going into these accounts every single time you get paid. The first one is this: emergencies. Second one is investments. Third one is debts. Fourth one is expenses. Fifth one is fun, and the last one is charity, in that exact order. Now, you're probably asking me, Tommy, how much money do I actually put into these accounts every single time I get paid? Now, you're in luck because I'm about to break down everything right now. So now the first account is emergencies. So every time you get paid, you're going to put money into your emergency envelope. Now, how much money do I need to put in here, Tommy? The answer is this: no less than 10%. So minimum is 10%. If you make $1 every single week, you put in 10 cents. If you make $100, you put in $10. Doesn't matter. It's 10% of all your weekly income, or wherever you get paid, you put it into this account. Now, Tommy, for how long am I going to be able to build up this entire emergency fund? The answer is this: only about 6 months of all your living expenses. So for example, if you were to lose your job and you can't pay rent, you have to be able to have at least 6 months of all your expenses in one envelope. Now, once you get pretty advanced and you start building the habits, you can open up a separate high yield savings accounts, probably with like Wealthfront, and have your money there sitting down just in case any emergency does happen, all while not losing any money on inflation, because every single year inflation hits you and you're losing money just by saving money in an envelope. But you need to build up the entire routine and habits first before you start putting your money away in a bank account. Now, the second thing is this, guys. And by the way, guys, for my emergency fund, when I first started, I started with like around $20 a week. I was depositing into the account, and all my friends laughed at me. By the end of the year, I had around $2,000 or something like that, because my income kept increasing, and all my friends had around $0. So don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Worry about what you're doing. That's all that's important, okay? Now, the second account is this: investments, and it's by far my favorite. This account is for the sole purpose of investing all your money, and it's all about making more money. Now, how much money do I put in here, Tommy? Between 10 to 20%. Right now, I'm investing around 50% of all my income, around like 40% actually, you know? 40% of all my income goes into investment. Now, how do I do it, Tommy? Basically, I recommend you do 3 things with this account. You start building business income, passive income, and also like long-term income. So for example, what I do is this: most of my money I invest it into my business first because it gives me a higher return, and then I invest it too into the market, right? Into the market, like the stock market, and I use Acorns because it helps me create a balanced portfolio. By the way, I have a link for everything I'm saying in the description down below, so don't worry about it. So just go down there after this video, just gonna like keep track of everything. Now, the third thing is this: long-term investments. I also have an account that's made for building a reserve of money so I can actually purchase real estate. So for example, I put money into ETFs, like the stock market, then I put money into my business, and then I also put money into my long-term investment account for real estate, right? Those are 3 different types of investments that are very diverse. So by this one account is responsible for all 3 of those investments. So anywhere between 10 to 20% should be perfect. Now, you don't have to be like me. You can literally just do like the stock market, but I recommend you start building assets. And if you don't know how to build assets or like buy real estate, then I recommend you invest in yourself first, like buying books, taking courses. Those are all investments. You can use all the money to actually invest in yourself and get a return on your investment through education. So just do that. My first investments, guys, honestly, were books. I bought a lot of books, a lot of courses, and because I bought all that stuff, I got to this point right now. So investments give you a return back. And again, you cannot invest into something you don't know. So if someone tells you like, hey, invest all your money into Bitcoin, don't do it. That's not a real investment. It's too risky. You don't understand it. So put your money into things that are guaranteed to get you a return back, okay? Be very realistic with everything. Now, the third account is debt. Most of the people in America have problems with debt. They owe credit card debt around like $6,000, I think, and it's a lot, okay? It's a lot. So I recommend anywhere between 10 to around 30%, even 40%, depending on what situation you're actually going through. So for example, right now, when I first started this, by the way, guys, I was doing around like 50% of all my money instead of my debt account, okay? But now I do around 40% because one, I owe a lot of money. Two, I don't pay any interest. And three, that money that I owe makes me a ton of money every single week because it's investment debt, okay? It's not bad debt. So if you have bad debt, like just credit cards, you bought a Rolex or you bought a car or you bought something you can't afford, use this account to pay it down as quickly as possible so you won't have to pay a ton of interest on it. So again, it's between 10 to 40, even 50%, depending on your situation. Now, I have to say this, guys, your goal is to get this account literally to zero or to a percentage where you're only paying off your debt on good investments. So things are gonna get you money back. So it's kind of like an investment account after you start doing things correctly. Now, here's the fourth account where everybody struggles. It's expenses. Everyone focuses so much on expenses. And again, it's food and bills. Only things that you really need. So when you write down all your expenses, you're gonna have to decide, hey, this is a want, this is a need. I need food to live. I need internet to live, which is like, realistic now. And I need rent to actually live. Anything beyond that is just a want. You don't need Netflix. You don't need Hulu. You don't need any of that stuff, okay? So just get rid of it. And by the way, if you have an unlimited plan with AT&T and they charge you around like $110, then switch to T-Mobile and then you get $60 for your entire plan, okay? Doesn't matter. Just cut off all the bills you possibly can. So my expenses right now are around 5%. I know something for a fact. This is not realistic. Something that I managed to build because I've done a lot of work. But you're probably going to start around maybe between like 20 to 50% of all your income is gonna go into expenses, okay? And that's fine, but you just have to understand, hey, I need to limit how much money I'm spending, or you need to make more money. And until you make more money, you need to limit how much money you spend. So right now, I'm at 5%. The highest I've ever been is around 30%, okay? So I managed to put my expenses down by a lot. Now, my fifth and favorite account that everyone loves and everybody spends all their money on is the fun account. Now, this account is responsible for me having fun, going on dates, buying things from Amazon that I definitely don't need, paying for Hulu, paying for Netflix, a whole bunch of things that I just like having, okay? And I like having AirPods, so I buy things like this with my fun account, okay? Now, this account needs around between 5 all the way up to 20% max. And if you can't buy what you want with 20% of your income every single week, then you save it up and then you buy it whenever you can buy because you can't afford it. And if you can't buy it still because you want a Lamborghini or you want this like fancy car, then guess what happens? You need to increase your income by a lot of money. So my fun account is my favorite one. And by the way, there's one rule to this account. You need to spend the money every single week. Why? Because a lot of people out there, they don't spend any money, just save all their money. And then once a year, they go crazy and spend all their money out of nowhere, okay? Why? Because they don't have any balance. So every single week, I spend money for my fun account, and that brings balance into my life. It's one of the most important accounts, believe it or not. Now, the sixth account is actually charity. Again, no one has ever gone broke by giving money away. I recommend giving away anywhere between 1 to 10% of your income to someone that's in need. Now, me personally, I live in New York, and we have a problem here where, by the way, I know I shouldn't care about this, but it's just how I think personally, like I'm not gonna lie. I started going around my neighborhood, and every week I would go around to a supermarket, and the person in front of me, I would buy their food. They're like their entire like groceries, okay? And the smile I would get, it would be incredible, okay? And it made my heart very happy, and that's my way of doing charity. And by the way, yes, you can deduct this from your taxes. It's completely legal, so you can do that. Just have all the receipts and everything like that. You just can prove it. But it's one of my favorite accounts, and no one that I've ever met in my life has gone broke from giving money away. And again, guys, I want to clarify everything. All the links are in my description down below. I have links on investments. I have links on paying your credit card debts. I have links on making more money. I have links on getting a good savings account. I have links on everything in the description down below. So make sure you check that out after the video. On top of that, I want to say this, guys. Is this the first time you're actually seeing a budget that works like this? You think it's a good idea? You think it's a bad idea? Because again, I made this up myself, and I kind of want to create an entire program going into full detail on how everything really works and my investing tactics and my goals and all that stuff. And I want to make a full program on this. But I want to know, guys, do you think this actually works? Do you want to try it? And I know it works, okay? Because I've had my friends and a lot of people out there go from literally a negative net worth to earning around like more money than I make now, okay? So you'll be surprised about how much money people actually make once they start using this entire budget and saving a ton of money. I had a friend that couldn't afford to go to school because he couldn't pay for it, and after he started implementing this budget, he had money to go to school, take his girlfriend on dates and everything he wanted to do, and plus still have a savings, okay? So it's all about managing everything. So comment down below if you think this is a good budget and you actually want to try. Again, it's called the simple budget. Let me know if you want to see a course on it. And guys, if you made it this far into the video, I want to tell you a secret that most people that stop watching at this point won't really know. And the answer is this. Tommy, when did you actually start budgeting, and why did you start budgeting, and what made you actually change the way you were? Now, before I became this person that wears like one t-shirt every single day, and makes like $10,000 obviously, but before I got to this point, I was spending every single ounce, every single dollar that I made on sneakers, on clothes, on dates, on doing whatever I wanted to do whenever I wanted to do it, okay? And I literally had $0. And here's when everything's changed. I started looking at money not as currency, but as time. So when I used to buy sneakers like this for like around $400, by the way, I would never pay $400 for a sneaker anymore. I got this one for free from a very good friend of mine. So thank you so much if you're watching this video. But here's my thing. I used to buy sneakers like this for like $400, $500, and I started doing math. I said, you know what? I'm not spending currency, I'm spending time, because I used to work for around $8.50 an hour, and to spend $400 on a shoe, it will literally take me around like 48 or 45 hours to actually make that money. So I wouldn't say like, hey, am I really willing to spend 45 hours of my time on a shoe? And then I would say, no, I'm not willing. So I would just stop that, and I didn't spend any more money on things that I didn't need. Because again, money became less of a currency, but it became more of time for me. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with before I actually leave this video is this. I started this budget when I was making $60 a week, and I couldn't afford to take my girlfriend out for ice cream, okay? It was that bad. So there's no excuse whatsoever for you to get started at all. And I was like 19 or like 18. I can't even remember, okay? And I managed to go from that to making almost $10,000 net every single month. So if I could do it, literally anyone could possibly do this. I'm not smart. I'm not crazy, okay? I'm not special. You can do it too. And on top of that, guys, before you leave this video, I want you to do something. Comment down below your income, your expenses, and those like 6 accounts that I give you, and how much money you're gonna be directing to all these things, right? Now, why I'm asking you to put all your public information here? Because I want you to leave this video with all the work already done. Once you have all the work done, I'll comment on your entire thing, and I say like, hey, this is good, this is bad, fix this or fix that. Or if you don't want to do that, just DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson, and we'll go over it together. Again, guys, as always, thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, go ahead and like the video. It really helps the channel out a ton. On top of that, guys, if you like the video, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I post a video, which again is every single day. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one or ask me any questions, I answer all my DMs, so you can DM me on Instagram at TommyBryson. And if you want to talk to all of us on the channel, go join us on Discord, link in the description down below. But again, only 100 spots are open. Once those 100 spots are full, we're not going to open it again until 2020. So get in while you still can before it's too late. I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Thanks for watching, and peace.
You've got to start at the bottom.